Hello you gorgeous people, welcome to my channel. My name's Tara and I'm here to help you make confident choices with your beauty buys. And today I'm looking at one of the much anticipated Dior palettes that's just out. This is Rouge Trafalgar. I went for the red one. Let's take a look. What are we thinking, guys? So if you know Dior and you know about this latest collection, they've brought out 4 new quints, so palettes with 5 colours in. There's a blue one, there's one with sort of a silvery greys and a sort of speckled black, and Mitza, I think it's called, which is sort of one with copper and warm browns, a really sort of lovely coppery warm toned one. And then this one, which is called Rouge Trafalgar, which is the one I opted for because I'm a big fan of red. Before I talk about it too much, have a look at a little demo video of how I got this look. This is the first time I've ever used a palette. I literally got it through the door about half an hour ago and I was really keen to get this up, so take a quick look and see how I got this eye look. And first off, we should look at some swatches. So here we go. We've got a kind of pale pink, and then a sort of sparkly, very light topper shade. This is the kind of plummy colour that you can use in your crease. And there's a darker brown you can use to smoke out, and then this is the central colour. That red. How does it compare to other Dior palettes? Well, just a quick look at a couple of little differences. It's bigger than the regular Dior palettes, a tiny bit, and that's because inside and on the outer edge at the front it's silver, and you've sort of got more of a silver surround, which is rather glitzy. You do still get space for and the little applicators included, so there is a sponge applicator and a thinner applicator to sort of do along your eye line. And then, oh, there's 2 brushes on this one, which is unusual. There's normally another applicator and 1 brush. So I really like the fact that Dior includes these little brushes in their palettes, not necessarily for when you're at home, because we've probably all got our own brushes. I've done a video if you want to take a look at some unicorn brushes, unicorn beauty brushes, and they're absolutely lovely. But if you're popping these in a bag or going away, I think it's really nice that there are a couple included. Otherwise I'll have a palette and then just a sort of a lone brush in my bag. So I really like the fact that they include those, and I think they're actually really quite nice. Now in terms of the description of what you get with these palettes, there's not a lot of information online. Like, I didn't even know if I was going to get a matte shade, some shimmers, you know, what was actually in there. Now, they're all classic Dior finishes, really. We've got really quite a shimmery one with this plum, and then this light shade is like a scattered colour that you would put all over the eye, and there's a little less shimmer to the dark sort of plummy brown. And the red one, well, actually the red is possibly a matte. I can't really see any shimmer, but it's maybe a very, very sort of matte shimmer. So those are the finishes. This isn't going to interest you if you don't like a plummy red story. With the look that I've done today, I've used this purple and this brown. And then I did sort of put this pink over, as sort of over the whole colour. I did find that just the red, even though I love red, it was a bit harsh. It wasn't quite the red that my beloved Bronze Seduction Pat McGrath has produced. I've got comparisons here. So this one is the Pat McGrath red. Pat McGrath is a little bit, it's got more shimmer to it, and there's a little bit more orange, more warmth to it. This one is cooler. So these are very, very pigmented shades. You can go easily wrong with them. I did a very quick demo now, and also I will, to be fair, I kind of use this little applicator brush quite a lot because I actually wanted to do the demo using the tools that I was given, and that's probably doing this palette a little bit of an injustice, because I think if I was using brushes I'd have been able to build up a little bit more. If you're using an applicator, do be aware that if you're putting an applicator into this red, you're packing on colour very densely. So if you want to go a little bit gentler, then a bigger, fluffier brush is definitely the way to go. And I think that's probably where I went a little bit wrong putting this on earlier. But I have to say, this is probably not a starter palette, just because of the brightness of the colours, the brightness of that red. It's so flamboyant that you will sort of get big amount of colour and you have to sort of blend it in. And yeah, I think this one might take a little bit of practice for me. I'm pleased I got it because I don't really have many plummy palettes currently. I did have a look at some of the videos that Dior had made about this palette, and I instantly could tell that the red was going to be a little more neutral or cool toned than that beautiful Pat McGrath red in her Bronze Seduction palette. So I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be quite as gorgeous for me as that red. But it's nice to have a red, it's nice to have some plums. If you want a bit of advice on how to use the palette, it just does, don't throw away the box straight away, because it does have this little reminder that if you use the top 3 shades, you're going to get a softer look, and if you use the bottom 3 shades, you'll get a darker look. So it's all still using this red, but if you use this red and then, you know, maybe go over it with this, or even just use this pink on the eye and use the red to smoke out and go over everything with this to soften the look. What I've done, as you probably saw from the video, I started with this on the lid and then I went over that with this, just because I don't want to go straight in with the really dark colour. Then I went over that red with this, and then I blended out with the darker colour, and then I popped this into the creases just to soften the look a little bit there. The quality's undeniable. It's Dior. They are amongst my favourite eyeshadows. I really love them, and I've said in previous videos that I'm such a fan of just 4 or 5 colours in an eyeshadow palette. For me, I just get too confused if there are too many colours, so I'm really, really happy with 5. I think I'm going to have a few more goes with this, but I'm glad I've got it. I was actually torn between this and Mitza, which is a sort of, it's got sort of warm coppers and browns and bronzes in, and although I have so many eyeshadows with those colours in, I mean, I want another one if it's from Dior, because the way Dior blends and the way that you can really shape the eye with Dior is wonderful. And I really, really do like the packaging. You get a mirror, really good quality mirror. You get the brushes, which I say I like, even if not everybody uses the brushes that often. And what's undeniable for me with these Dior quints is how carefully the colours are thought out. Like, I used every colour in the palette for my eye, and the way they just all work together. So when you put this one over the red, it works. And then when you, if you choose to just blend a little bit with this softer purple, the colours just all go together really, really nicely. The end result is more of a plum, I think you can see, rather than a pure red. And the way I would use Pat McGrath's Bronze Seduction red, which is this one, I forget the name of the actual red, but for me this is just so warm that I put this on my eyelid and then I just smoke out with a warm brown and I'm ready to go. So I think for me the quality is undeniable. If you like the colour story, go for it. It is bold, it's not going to be to everybody's taste. And the red, I'd say, is a neutral red. It's not a really warm orangey red. But Dior, I'm always going to love the Dior eyeshadows. I think they are just amongst the best out there. I got this ordered as well from Dior directly, and it came in a lovely box, and I got a little pouch with 2 samples that you can choose when you go to checkout. So I've got some little perfumes as well. But yeah, ultimately I'm glad I've got some more red in my collection. I love it. My warning is maybe do use fluffier brushes rather than the applicators if you want a softer look, because I did find I sort of overloaded the product. But I will be reaching for this one. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I think for daytime as well, with just even this sort of lovely this lovely pinky shade and maybe smoking a little bit of the red out. It's definitely one I'm going to have a play with. I really, really like it. I would love to know if you are planning to get any of these new Dior quints, or if you've got any already, which one should I buy next? I'd love to know. Please let me know in the comments below. Do subscribe and like this video if you found it in any way helpful. I've got lots more coming up. I'm going to be looking at a Coloured Rain Power palette. It's a limited edition palette. It's incredible. Purples and pinks and duochromes. If you're in the US and you love Pat McGrath but you find it a bit pricey, then Coloured Rain could be an option. Their palettes are priced around $15, and actually even with the tax that I paid and the shipping, it was still cheaper than my Pat McGrath palette, and I have to say the colours are wow. I've got that coming up. I'm going to be looking at some of my favourite nude lipsticks. I'm going to be doing a 90s look, so if any of you are into your 90s vibe, a more matte face, I'm going to be looking at a Chantilly blusher, loads and loads more coming up. I'm sweating so much, so I'm just really going to have to end it here. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.